Yeah, big day of Premier League action on Super Sunday, and no doubt a lot of eyes will be on St James's Park, where Ange Postecoglou takes his Nottingham Forest team to Newcastle United. Jackie, it's his 26th day in charge, played 6, won none. The fans, his own fans, singing "You're getting sacked in the morning" in midweek. The Sunday Mirror has gone with I'm always one game from the sack, if you believe it all. Not looking good for Ange, is it?
No, and conceded 13 in those 6 games as well, including 3 against Swansea City in the Championship and the Cup. So I think the reason the fans have done that is not because they don't want to be patient, it's because of what they're seeing and the fact that they took a manager who, yes, of course, won a major European trophy, fantastic. But if you literally just take that trophy out and look at the form of Tottenham last season, it was absolutely abysmal in the league. You cannot get away from that. You can't. But in Ange Postecoglou's defence, Forest had already been slipping towards the end of last season and at the start of this season. And looking at them, it does show some kind of parallels to when Nuno Espirito Santo was in charge at Wolverhampton Wanderers, where he did a phenomenal job. He took them to promotion, 7th twice in the Premier League and quarterfinals of the Europa League, and COVID came along. And when he was there, he tried to transition from a counter-attack style of play to be more possession-based, and it didn't work, and things didn't work out at Wolves, and there were various other issues, personal issues, at the result of COVID, being away for so long, and he was a different man to the one that started. But looking at Forest, it does look as though there are similar signs there that took them to 7th in the Premier League, could have been higher, so close to Champions League, phenomenal season, but trying to transition again away from that counter-attack style of play to be more possession-based with the extra games that they were going to have in European competition. And they'd already struggled. And also there's the issue, in fairness to Postecoglou, the issue to Ola Aina on international duty, and the fact that Murillo was injured in his first game, came back in the last game and had to go off in that as well. And he was absolutely phenomenal at Forest under Nuno. So I do think it's a worry, and the reason he's saying is I'm always one game away from the sack is because his results have been appalling. You can't get away from that. Much as a lot of us like him on a human level, I would love him to do well, and Forest a big club, the signs aren't good, but he's friends with the owner, and that's how he got the job, not because of what he did at Tottenham.
Julian, we mentioned before about Bonnie Tyler and Manchester United. Well, Neil Moxley's piece actually refers to Frank Sinatra, because he talks about Forest's greatest ever manager in Brian Clough, and he said old Big Ed was a lifelong fan of old Blue Eyes Frank Sinatra, whose anthem My Way has been taken up by Ange Postecoglou. But if the 60-year-old is going to bow out and become the subject of one of the shortest Premier League managerial reigns, he will have done it his way. But is doing it his way maybe going to be his undoing?
Yeah, completely. I mean, if you watch the game against Midtjylland in Europe in midweek, you see the same problems that Ange had with Spurs last season, conceding on set pieces. He clearly either doesn't work on it or he's not good at working on it. Murillo, that Jackie mentioned, rushing him back clearly. He was nowhere near ready to play that game, which is what he used to do at Spurs with Mickey van der Ven all the time. I need you, come and play. You're not fit, it doesn't matter, and then he breaks down again. It's the same with Murillo, and I just don't understand how Ange has made all those mistakes in the past. He's not a bad coach. He keeps just making the same mistakes, just in another club with another shirt. And I think he will survive a little bit more. He won't be sacked during this international break. But if he continues like this, for the next one, he won't be there anymore.
Just very, very quickly, because we are running out of time. Jason, I just want to...
Let's go live there now and speak to Keith Downey. Keith, what a matchup. Postecoglou has not had the sort of start that he would have been hoping for at Forest. The fans aren't happy. Does today's game feel crucial in terms of his future at the club?
Well, certainly if you speak to anyone who covers the club on a daily basis, certainly my colleagues at Sky Sports News who cover Nottingham Forest have been telling me that this game is pivotal as to Ange Postecoglou's future, which, look, from the outside looking in, from myself who covers Newcastle on a day-to-day basis, it seems crazy. This is his, 26th day in charge, Ange Postecoglou, and of course, yes, he's yet to win in those 6 matches, but look, it's a team that, of course, had a great season last year, but there was clearly issues, and that is why a change has been made. And I suppose it just shows the fragility of football management now that someone in that position, like Ange Postecoglou, has been brought in because he has a relationship with the owner. And as I say, 26 days later, it almost sounds as though this game could define his future and could potentially lead to a managerial sacking if they come here and lose heavily. It sounds crazy, but that is the modern world of football at the moment, and that is the pressure that's on managers' heads. So look, we heard the Nottingham Forest supporters, didn't we, on Thursday night when they lost in the Europa League, booing when that winning goal went in, booing at the final whistle, chanting towards Ange Postecoglou, their own manager, "You're getting sacked," in the morning. It was pretty incredible to hear, and all of that, of course, just adds further pressure on this match today to Postecoglou, knowing that, of course, after this encounter there's an international break afterwards. So if the Nottingham Forest hierarchy decided to make a decision, they've got plenty of time to do that. This is Ange Postecoglou talking ahead of today's crucial match against Newcastle here at St James's Park.
There's plenty of evidence, I think, in the last 5 games to show that we have changed fundamentally the way we go about things in terms of, the way we set up, the possession we have, the chances we create, how aggressive we are with and without the ball. So, of course, that's always a work in progress, and we are still in the stage of discovery around players, like you said, who's kind of adapted to it really quickly, who needs some time, who we need to work with to change things. So, and that's only natural when you're going, when you're shifting from your sort of one way of playing to another. I think I would have been very surprised if anyone thought it would be just an overnight sort of thing. But I do think there's plenty of evidence that the players have embraced and we are playing differently. But because the results haven't naturally followed, there's always a question mark as to, whether that sort of change has been a positive one or not.
It certainly was a rush deal because we were on the clock and trying to explore every avenue to try and find another way to beat a points deduction. But ultimately, as I said earlier, in terms of buybacks, we weren't in a good bargaining position at all. So our sort of strength to negotiate those things was non-existent. I wouldn't say it's on my mind every day, but there's certain reminders and certain moments that still didn't sit right with me then, doesn't sit right with me today. And that we as a football club were forced to make a decision that we didn't want to make. And a player that had given everything to rise through the ranks here and to try and play for Newcastle, that was sort of ended by financial restrictions.
It's been a good day for the home side in our 2 o'clock kickoffs. Villa beating Burnley 2-1 at home. Everton coming from a goal down against Crystal Palace to beat them 2-1. And Newcastle beating Forest 2-0. Still looking for their first win under Ange Postecoglou. 1 apiece between Wolves and Brighton. Wolves in front at half-time for the first time this season. Still 1 game to come. Brentford Man City build-up already underway on Sky Sports Premier League. Let's get into our Newcastle analysis. The key to this, was it winning the ball high up by Newcastle United, Connor?
Yeah, I think this was typical. Newcastle United, the reaction on transition, they lost the ball, and then to win it back, Bruno Guimaraes going straight towards the ball, and then obviously you'd see Dan Burn here. But this finish, we actually thought at the time it was an unbelievable finish, didn't we, when we were watching it? But as we watch it back, I think the goalkeeper will be disappointed. It's a brilliant reaction on the transition to win it back. And you can see it does go into the middle of the goal a little bit. There's some brilliant goal from Newcastle point of view, but we just felt the keeper could do maybe a little bit better.
Newcastle 1 up, they went on to win the game, and we can hear from Bruno Guimaraes, scorer of that first goal, with Pien Mullenstein.
We'll get onto your goal in just a moment, but just before it there was a talking point. Of course, Morgan Gibbs-White thought he was fouled. How did you see it in your opinion?
Never touched the ball first after football is about contact, but first I touched the ball, but no, never foul.
Talk to us about the goal, because it was brilliantly well taken.
Wow, I think it's unbelievable. I've been training a lot. They shoot outside of the box. I know it's something that I can add in my game. I think it was one important goal. When I have seen the space, the first thing in my mind was why not? So I get my chance. I think it was a a great finish. I have to see now the video, but in the pitch I thought it was an unbelievable finish, and happy to score a goal today.
Does it feel like the international break is coming at the wrong time, really, for Newcastle at the moment?
I think so. Even more, 2 wins in a row, like I said, and now I have to stop a little bit. But yes, let's see. Let's go to myself going to South Korea and Japan with Brazil, 2 friendlies, a little bit far away, but yeah, I have to be happy to go there and play well and come back. We have Brighton and after a Champions League game, so we have to be in our best international as well.
Congratulations today. All the best for the next week.
Thank you. Bye.
2 pros with us, by the way. One a current professional, one ex-professional. Both said no foul in the build-up to that goal. Elliot Anderson, though, gives away a penalty. Is it a question, Jamie, that he doesn't really know that Bruno's there and surprises him?
Yeah, I mean, listen, no one likes to give a penalty away. He just checks his shoulder. He checks it twice, actually, but it's not like him. His touch just gets away from him slightly. He knows Bruno's coming. He knows what he's up against. He knows him better than anybody in the Nottingham Forest team.
He was convinced. He was convinced it wasn't a penalty as well, wasn't he?
We're all convinced in that situation. No one likes to say they give a penalty. He was speaking to the referee saying, as soon as you look at VAR, it'll be fine. It won't be a penalty. But
what about
he
the
got it
confidence
right
here?
But I absolutely love this fella. I mean, what a start he's made to his Premier League career. A lot of stuff, obviously, as we know, going on a lot around Newcastle in the summer with Isaac and different things. Who did we going to try and get? He was maybe 4th or 5th down the list in terms of strikers they tried to get, but what a start he's made.
Scoring his first 3 Premier League games at St James's Park. Defeat again for Ange Postecoglou. Still looking for his first win as Forest boss. He is with Pien Mullenstein.
Your motivation as a manager to turn this around, where's that at the moment?
Where it always is. It's all right. It's a struggle. It's a fight. There's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't worry me. That's why I love what I do. I could have been sitting on a couch watching you guys, depending who's on, probably on mute. But I prefer to be here. You know, I prefer to be right in the middle of it where I can have an effect, and I believe I will.
Ange, thank you very much.
I think he's speaking for a lot of people. He's got us on mute. He looks pretty chilled about the situation.
Listen, it's been a terrible start for him. He's got pressure from his own supporters. But if you're a neutral supporter, you want Ange in the Premier League because he's a character, he's a personality, and he's just shown that with his interview there. But yeah, it's going to be a long 2 weeks for him and Nottingham Forest.
He needs a bit of a break, doesn't he?